Hi there, this is Jody from Supreme Peace Yoga and Wellness. I wanted to take a moment today to talk with you about peace on the mat, but also about anger, frustration, confusion, sadness, all of those other emotions that come up for us on the mat as well. When I first started practicing yoga many years ago, I used it as an escape for everyday life, which is legitimate. It's legit. You know, all of the emails, all of the phone calls, all of the things in the news, we need a break. We do need that from time to time. But I used it as an escape, a way to kind of hit pause. It's the reason why I called the yoga studio Supreme Peace Yoga, because it was a place where I found peace, at least most of the time. But the more I've practiced yoga over the years, and particularly within the last year and a half, I've come to realize that yoga is not a place to escape from our emotions. And as a matter of fact, if you've been practicing yoga very long at all, you have come to understand that you can have very intense emotions on the mat. Emotions of feeling like you want to cuss the teacher out for keeping you in chair pose too long. Moments of confusion and bewilderment, thinking that everyone else in the class knows what they're doing and you don't. Moments of anger that may rise up from nowhere at all. And that can be really disconcerting to those of us who have maybe been practicing yoga for a shorter period of time. When we think in our minds, but this is supposed to bring me peace. Why is it bringing me such conflict, such irritation? And I get it. I'm making this video today so that maybe you can bypass some of the time that I spent, many years that I spent coming to the place where I could be at peace in my emotions. Some of the time, not all of the time. In Tantra Yoga, one of the things that we learn is that all experiences, all emotions are both valid and a wonderful way to experience that part of and that piece of the universe. So we don't practice our yoga to escape uncomfortable feelings. We practice our yoga to notice them, to be curious about them, and to learn what kinds of messages that they have for us. So my encouragement for you is that when you experience an intense emotion on the mat, again, like frustration at me for having you hold Warrior Two so long that your muscles start to quake and you begin to ask yourself, why am I putting myself through this abuse? Why did I come here today? If you can, pause. When you notice you're feeling really intensely, pause. Take a deep breath. And then get curious about that emotion. Isn't that interesting? I wonder what that's about. Because for most of us, myself included, when I experience an emotion or a thought that I don't like, that I then try to squash down, what happens? It actually gets bigger and bigger and starts coming out in all of these wacky ways. But the moment I turn off my expectation that I'm supposed to feel peace and bliss all the time, the moment that I turn off the desire to squash those feelings and just turn to them, and I'm like, that's interesting. I know that those emotions aren't going to kill me. They may be uncomfortable, but I know they're not going to last forever. No emotion ever does. It's funny, it almost takes the steam out of it. And then what happens is we get to a deeper layer of peace than we've ever been to before. Because it's not just this artificial peace that I used to seek out by turning off my phone and coming into the yoga studio. It's a deeper level of peace. And one of my favorite phrases from the Bible is a peace that passes all understanding, right? It's a deeper level of peace that allows us to be at peace and ease even when our neighbors are getting on our nerves, our spouse is getting on our nerves, our kids, our dogs are getting on our nerves, we're getting on our own nerves. And we can take a step back and say, okay, right now I'm feeling this. Isn't that interesting? What's that telling me? And the beauty of that is, then our yoga transcends the hour that we spend on our yoga mat, and it ends up spreading out into the rest of our life so that we're less reactive when someone cuts us off in traffic, or we're less reactive when we get that phone call or that email from that person, right? And we can take a step back and we can say, isn't this interesting? This is what I'm feeling, or this is what I'm thinking right now. I wonder what that's about. And we start to create just a little bit of space there so that things aren't quite as intense as they used to be. If this has been helpful for you all, and I hope that it has, let me know. If not, if you want to learn more, let me know that as well. Because what I would love more than anything is to maybe help you be able to bypass some of those years of practice that I had before I understood kind of that deeper layer. And you know what? A couple of years from now, I'll understand an even deeper layer. And at the same time, I'll know that there's so much more to know, because we're truly always beginners. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a beautiful day.